and welcome back to our Team Lotus F1 Manager series. And yes, we do indeed still have a bit of egg on our face. Last time out, if you haven't seen the last episode, Daniel Ricciardo, we ran out of fuel just a few meters away from the line. We were running in third. We launched an attack. We were chasing down the two Mercedes, Bottas in first, George Russell second. We just got George Russell on the last lap. But then Ricciardo, we made a schoolboy error. We weren't monitoring the fuel, and he ran out of fuel just a few meters away from the line. So he dropped from second, completely out of the points. And it did promote Liam Lawson to third, so he still got a podium. But yeah, very harsh on Daniel Ricciardo, because he would have gained another 18 points. But instead, he comes away with a 0. So this is how things look at the moment. It says +8 because we also had the sprint weekend there in Spa, in which Danny Rick did win that, so at least he takes something away. But Valtteri Bottas looks very strong for this championship. Daniel Ricciardo still in second, and if we can maintain the performance of the car, as we've been saying, we're not doing any upgrades on it, but we still seem to be the second quickest car at the moment. But we have got the summer break coming up, and that was another error from myself. I thought Spa was the last race before the summer break. It isn't. We've got Budapest, Hungary, as you can see, bottom right there, in 4 days' time. Then we will have a 4-week break. And after that summer break, that's where I think Ferrari, Red Bull, McLaren will probably have a few new upgrades on the car. So that's where we may start to slip back down, as I've been saying, to 5th. But we shall wait and see. As I've said, we've got Budapest in 4 days. It's going to be a quick turnaround. Not much to do off track, but we'll see what we've got. And if you're not already and you're coming back to this series, or you're here for the first time and you enjoy what you see, please do subscribe to the channel. Do like the video if you like the content, and get involved down below in the comments. But let's crack on, see what we've got to do off track before heading into practice in Budapest in 4 days' time. So, wind tunnel data concern. I'm concerned about some irregularities in the wind tunnel. The data output seems to be consistent, so there has been no impact on car part development, but the main rotor isn't starting up or winding down as smoothly as it once did. I'm hesitant to suggest this given how important car development is, but I'd like to shut down the wind tunnel to investigate this issue properly. We will need to pause all current car part design projects to do this, but if we don't investigate this problem now, I'm concerned that it could get worse. Of course, there might not be an issue in the first place, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. What do you think we should do? Right, well, I think we've got to approve that. It's the same design projects, and we're not actually doing design projects, we're doing research. So I don't think this will impact us unless it's just not showing that it's research as well. It does indeed cover research as well. So it said design, but it didn't say research, but it is covered because we've just opened up another research slot and we can't do another. And that's because we've got this temporary shutdown that we just saw. So we're going to have to wait till the summer break now to put on another research project. So sponsor plan, and we've put 3 in here. There should be enough to hit our engagement requirements here. So it's going to be staff performance ratings that take a bit of a hit, as well as the wind tunnel facility, which is already being affected. So we may as well jump that one on there as well. So let's confirm that. Just looking at our balance, very good indeed. We've got 21 million. So I think what we might want to do, because we're not paying for that other research project, is just look at the powertrains here. 82%. I think we're definitely going to need another engine, aren't we? I wonder if we just pay for that new engine now. ERS is fine for now. Gearboxes, I think, are going to be fine. Liam Lawson's engines look okay. Lawson is probably going to need another ERS, I would say. So let's pay for that. And gearboxes should be fine. Do we pay for the engine now, or should we wait until it's... I think we're going to need one. I'm going to do it now. So that's cost us 7.5 million. So that's dropped us down to 13 million. But I think, hopefully, those parts should then see us through for the rest of the season. Current balance 13. What's the projected? Projected balance 17, so that's fine. Cost cap 56. So we're doing well on the finances. That's absolutely fine. So driver development update, and Liam Lawson has now gone to 81 overall, and his smoothness has gone up to 74. So looking very good. So if you look at his base stats, cornering better than Danny Rick, braking better than Danny Rick, control better than Danny Rick, smoothness where he takes a big hit, 11 increase from Danny Rick to Liam Lawson on the smoothness. So even though Liam Lawson is better on cornering and braking, it's by 2 on cornering, 3 braking, 3 control. So it's within 2 to 3. Then Danny Rick's got 11 on him on smoothness. Danny Rick better on adaptability by 2, better on overtaking by 4, defending as well, better by 8. And then Lawson better on reactions by 2 and accuracy, Danny Rick by 1. So really the deficit here for Lawson, if he can get this smoothness closer to about 80 and his defending to about 76, 77, he'll probably outperform Danny Rick most weekends. But I still think he's got a little bit to do, although his cornering, braking and control is very good. So we'll see how that goes. Here we go then. Time for the race in Hungary, and we're going to go 10th with Danny Rick. So it's gone down one, actually. It's normally 9th for Danny Rick, so perhaps we've lost a bit of performance. So 10th for Danny Rick. And, oh, Liam Lawson. So it's switched over. So it's effectively with that 1 extra overall rating from Liam Lawson going 80 to 81. It's now saying that Liam Lawson should perform better than Danny Rick. I'm not so sure, but let's see. So we're 9th now with Liam Lawson, 10th with Danny Rick. That's been the same performance bonus targets that we've been for through most of this season, but it's now swapped over. Instead of Danny Rick aiming for 9th, it's now 10th for Danny Rick and 9th for Liam Lawson. So they've swapped over, but let's begin practice in Hungary.
Fuck is green, fuck is green.
Liam Lawson out of the garage then, closely followed by Danny Rick as we hunt down that perfect 100% setup here in Hungary. Oh, literally 60 seconds into this session, Lawson's had a lock-up.
Things look fine here. The wheels just lock up there. And hopefully there's not
Not
too much
ideal there,
damage
but
to the
shouldn't
tyres.
cost us. Probably took practice in Hungary all completed, and we had a real struggle with Daniel Ricciardo. Just couldn't get that setup up to 100% or even above 93%. So our actual highest is 93%. The last iteration, it went down to 91%. But yeah, it's going from 93, 91, 92. Just couldn't get it there. So 93% is going to be the best setup we can get on Daniel Ricciardo. They both have 100% car parts knowledge because, of course, we're not putting new designs on the car. Danny Rick, 90% track acclimatization. So overall, his driver preparation is still very good at 98%. And Liam Lawson has 100% because he's got 100% car parts knowledge, as we mentioned. 96% track acclimatization, so near enough there. And 100% setup satisfaction. So both drivers pretty well prepared going into qualifying. But Liam Lawson just with a slight edge. But let's jump into qualifying and see how we go round here. Here we go then. As we begin qualifying, as always, we'll forward through this first lap. We count it as a banker, but hopefully it'll be enough to see us through. So let's just see how we go. Monitoring a bit of traffic here coming out of the pits. Piastri, hopefully no one else. Or Charles, we should be fine. Oh, we're not fine.
And it's red flag.
Oh, no, we're not fine. We're not fine. Danny Rick, what's happened? Oh, that might be a gearbox. Engine might have taken a hit as well. Oh, that is not good. We just said these parts should hopefully see us through. And that's also going to be Danny Rick starting dead last then. Oh, what a nightmare. What a nightmare for the Honey Badger, who's been on such great run of form. We let him down last time out with the fuel, but now a big mistake, and he's going to start 22nd. All right, it's a bit of a shock for us. We'll have to see what the parts look like when we get through this. Let's try that again then with Lawson. Get him straight out. Used a bit of that tyre life, but he should be okay. Piastri is going to give us a bit of traffic. We'll wait and see until everyone's set their laps. So we'll see how that goes, and then we'll see if we need to go back out again. So 2 minutes of the session to go. We're 3/10 off first place, who is Bottas, so we're not going to go back out. Max has set a pretty good time, so maybe the Red Bull's got a bit of upgrades for this track, or maybe just more suited. But yes, we are safely through with Lawson. Of course, Danny Rick is going to start dead last. And confirmation then, 22nd with Danny Rick. And we, of course, now won't be able to see what damage he's done until we get into the race, because this is all locked. But I imagine he's at least probably damaged the gearbox, and I'm hoping not too much damage to the engine and ERS, but we shall see once we finish qualifying. Oh, actually, it's going to show us now. So what has he done? Yeah, he's smashed up all of his parts. Gearbox. Yeah, he's done a gearbox because this is relatively new, this gearbox. Gearboxes are fine because they're only 1 million, but yeah, ERS, I think that's took a knock. And the engine, we have bought him another engine, so I think he'll still be okay on engines. He may even need another ERS before the end of the season. And I'm going to put this new engine in because he's starting last, so he may as well take the penalty anyway. And we've got to replace all of these parts. That's been a costly mistake. We are manufacturing another front wing, but we'll probably have to do some more manufacturing now after this accident because we're running low on a few of these parts. But yeah, it's going to cost us potentially another gearbox and another ERS, but the engines, I think, are okay. This engine should get us through another couple of races. So the last engine will have to get us through 6 or 7. So hopefully if he doesn't have any accidents, should be fine. ERS 2.5 million, gearbox 1 million, so 3.5 million. Not ideal, but it's not the worst outcome. But he will take more grid penalties, of course. But Danny Rick's all sorted. Should start from the pit lane. We shall see our first pit lane start now we've made those changes. But let's concentrate on Liam Lawson. He's ready to go back out in Q2. So we'll send Lawson out again. Quite worn tyres this time. Can't really class them as scrub set, but let's see how we go. I've got a bit of traffic. Should be fine now for traffic. Whether we lost some time there in T1, who knows. But we'll see, again, what these times look like. Again, I think we're going to be pretty safe here. So I'm going to not send Lawson out. I'm going to choose not to. Hopefully we're not going to rue that decision. But checkered flag is now out. And yes, we are comfortably through to Q3. So disaster for Ricciardo. Going well for Lawson, though. Let's jump into Q3. And another crash. This time Esteban Ocon in the Williams. I think he's kept it going, unlike Danny Rick. Ooh.
Can't do it.
Yes, he has. He'll need to come in. Whether that can be repaired, though. But Ocon doing well, actually. Williams in the top 10 here. Probably helped by Team Lotus not being in the top 10, but no Aston Martins. We've got 2 Mercedes, 2 Ferraris, 2 Red Bulls, 2 McLarens. And yeah, because the second Lotus is not here, Williams may have jumped the Aston Martins. We've got another yellow flag. And Lando Norris has had a lock-up now, so a few mistakes in this qualifying session.
Oh, and the car locks up. Now, they did leave it very late.
So I don't think Norris has set his lap, so that will ruin that run for Norris. Here we go then. Liam Lawson's one and only run here in the Hungaroring in Q3. Let's see how we go. Of course, it will be green sectors here because it's its only run. So whatever time, even if it was 1 minute for his first sector, it would go green. But if we see a purple, then we might get very excited. But I don't think got the pace as these Mercedes seem to be very dominant at the moment, and they've been very quick around here. Piastri's been doing pretty well, though, across qualifying, and Verstappen's not been too far away either, so it might be a little bit closer round here. It is a shorter track, so of course the cars are a little bit more condensed in terms of the gaps because shorter lap. Go green through that first sector, so no purple. So we don't really know where Lawson's going to end up. I would imagine somewhere between 3rd to 5th. Bottas has finished, so Bottas is not going to be on pole here. Piastri will start ahead of Bottas, so that is something we've not seen for a while. A McLaren ahead of a Mercedes. Green through the second sector, so again, not going purple. Charles Leclerc and Ocon finished as well. Charles Leclerc set nearly 8 tenths off pole. But here we go then. We're about to round this final corner. Sainz has finished as well. He's a long way off. Verstappen goes P2. Russell goes P1. Where is Lawson going to fall? P3. Nice one for Liam Lawson. I think that's it, apart from Lando Norris. So what can he do? Because his teammate is in second place. Can Norris put it on pole here for McLaren, who are looking pretty racy around here? No, he doesn't improve. So that's a bit of a mixed up grid, isn't it? Not something we've seen for a while. And Valtteri Bottas, the championship leader, down in 5th place. So he's got work to do on race day. It's his teammate George Russell who puts it on pole. Oscar Piastri, as we said, in that McLaren P2. Liam Lawson P3. Max Verstappen P4. Valtteri in 5th. Lando Norris 6th. Charles Leclerc leads the Ferrari 7th and Hamilton 8th, Carlos Sainz 9th, and Esteban Ocon in that Williams in 10th. Sergio Perez in the other Williams 11th. So yeah, these Aston Martins very much fallen off. So it looks like Williams are ahead of the Astons at the moment. And as we saw, Danny Rick down in dead last with that accident. So let's jump into some strategy here. Here we go then, race strategy. It's slightly different this time round with both drivers still on a 2-stop, but Danny Rick's going to start on the hards, go attack, and then 2 stints of medium. Liam Lawson's going to be a little bit lighter on his soft tyres that he's starting on, then he's medium, then he's hard. So he's using all 3 compounds as Liam. Ricciardo hard, medium, medium, and he should start from the pit lane. And with that said, he's starting last, of course, starting from the pit lane. Liam Lawson starting 3rd, both on a 2-stop. Let's jump in and start this Hungarian Grand Prix. Here we go then. 3 lights, 4, 5. And they're held for quite a while, but we're underway. And there you go. You see Danny Rick starting from the pit lane. So that is indeed happening. What can Lawson do here off the start? There's Daniel Ricciardo. He should be able to get underway now. As Lawson trying to make a move on Russell for P2. Russell forced out wide. Lovely. And Ricciardo's underway now. Not sure if there's an accident back there.
In front of us, Gasly.
But Lawson's got a good start there. It's been an awful start for George Russell, though. He's down to P4. And Ricciardo is past Gasly. So Ricciardo's made his first move at the back of the grid. So up to a whopping 21st. Jack Harvey, do you have mods? Yes, we do. We have sponsorship mods, and we also have Toyota mod for the Haas.
Currently P2. Piastri ahead.
Lawson for the lead on the outside of Oscar Piastri, and Liam Lawson leads. Beautiful move from Lawson.
0.8.
We are on the softs though, and we do have to go light on those, so this may not last too long. So yeah, let's just have a look at tyres. So Lawson on softs, Piastri, Verstappen mediums, Russell hard. Then we've got a few soft runners there. Danny Rick on the hards down here. Not got another hard runner until Hulkenberg. Right, so Lawson maintains the lead, but Oscar Piastri, of course, now has DRS on us. So this may be us dropping back to P2. But if we can stay with Oscar here, although Lawson's defending it well, Oscar will get a second helping of DRS here, though. And Oscar into the inside
Certainly don't
to reclaim the lead. And Ricciardo's made his way up to 19th as Lawson drops back to P2.
Come on, mate. Car behind, Russell.
So we've got to get to lap 21 with Lawson. Got to get to lap 19 with Danny Rick. Going to be an interesting one here because, as I say, Lawson on these softs, we've got to manage them. So we might start to go backwards a little bit. I want to just keep him in Oscar's DRS. Ricciardo completely forgot we've just absolutely drained all his battery because we've been concentrating on Lawson. But here we go. Is Lawson going to have a go here for the lead on the outside? Yes, indeed. Back into the lead, but I think we're just going to keep squabbling. This is going to keep toing and froing between Lawson and Piastri. Got a yellow flag. Is Ricciardo safe? He is.
Apparently has put you P1.
So Ricciardo's up to P18. So he's made 4 overtakes in 4 laps. And there's Lando Norris who had a lock-up.
Okay, so heading into turn 1 here. The wheels just lock up there. Now they did leave it
Big
very
lock-up
late.
for Lando on the hard tyres. What's that done to his tyres here? 83, yeah, he's took quite a bit. Took about 6% out of those. That lock-up. So Ricciardo's got Van Dorn and Drugovic. He's got... This is very Noah's Ark, isn't it, here? 2 by 2. 2 Williams, 2 Astons, 2 RBs, 2 Alpines, Lotus out killer, then 2 Haas, then 2 Kicks. Got a Formula 1 Noah's Ark as Ricciardo looking at the move now on Van Dorn. Yes, please, Danny Rick up to 17th. Can we get the next one done here on Drugovich? Let's have a little replay of that one, shall we? There we go. Lovely move from Danny Rick. So Drugovich has got DRS on Tsunoda, but we're just looking much pacier. Daniel Ricciardo on the inside of Drugovich. He tries to squeeze us. Lawson maintaining the lead, but I think he's going to be under pressure this time from Piastri.
On DRS behind.
As we try to defend the inside line, but I think Piastri's going to have us here. And Russell's going to be looking very handy as well, because we're not going to get DRS and we're forced out wide from Oscar. Is George going to have to go? No, I don't think he can from out there.
So car behind is Russell.
So Lawson back to P2.
Honestly, I don't think we can do much more.
And here we go. Get a replay of Danny Rick's work then.
Daniel Ricciardo.
Did he get both of these in one corner here? Oh, yes, please.
2
for 1. 2 for Tuesday's given away. Danny Rick on the 2 RBs. Russell then on the outside. He's going to get another dose of DRS though, so it's pretty much going to be done here.
Yeah, don't worry, mate.
You just kind of need to stick with this top 4. But Oscar's doing well. It's been the McLarens who, the Mercedes, sorry, that have been the quicker cars with us. Lawson, to be fair, is not giving this up. It's going to be a bit difficult to put 2 through here, though. Oh, still hanging in. We should have inside here.
Keep it up.
We're still side by side with George. But there we go. We've pushed him out in the end. And Bottas is going to squeeze past his teammate. That's a hell of a squabble. And Piastri has built a 1.8 second lead due to that fighting.
Overtake is available. Overtake available.
Ricciardo's now with Magnussen. This is going well for Ricciardo. We've built the battery up quite a bit as well. Right, we need to close back to Oscar Piastri here. We are going to use a bit of tyre life. We've got a little bit of margin.
Did just get DRS.
Right, so Russell car behind. Right, we're back with Piastri just inside the DRS. Let's hopefully stick with him now through this lap. And Ricciardo has got past Magnussen.
Now we're watching the action closely here.
So Ricciardo's looking good for points, I'd say, already here. Another clean move on K-Mag.
13th place now.
And actually up to 13th, I believe, then. Yes, and on to Alonso. And just 2 seconds off the points now. Ricciardo's on a mission. He's up to 12th, Danny Rick. He's not playing around. How far can he go in this race? How did he get through here? Oh, okay. Oh, that wasn't too realistic, was it? But we ignore it. We'll ignore it. But Ricciardo could soon be in the points. Lawson is taking the race lead. Trying to watch both drivers here, but Lawson can pull away. What can Ricciardo do here? It's going to be 3 wide. Could Ricciardo get another double overtake here? Oh, it's going to be tight, but I think we're going to do it, you know. Past Norris and Perez. And Daniel Ricciardo, after 10 laps, from 22nd on the grid, is into the points and into 10th place.
Ocon 1.2.
Let's take a closer look. And we're watching Daniel Ricciardo.
Norris just a sitting duck. He's harvesting his battery, plus no DRS. Danny Rick started from the pit lane and already into the points. What about Daniel Ricciardo? Is he going to move up into 9th then? On the outside this time of Esteban. And yes, indeed. So Ricciardo now to P9, but as I say, it's 9 seconds now to Leclerc. So Yeah, this is where he needs to use his pace. But to be fair, if he can close that, who knows how far he can go. Oh no, not the two Williams. They were having a good race. Oh, it's only minor contact.
Oh, huge accident, guy.
I don't think it's that huge, Sergio. No penalties given. That's not realistic. Should be 5 seconds to rock on. Right, Lawson, we dropped out of DRS there. Kind of took our eye off the ball with that Williams crash. So it's going to be hard to defend against Bottas.
Behind.
Copy, copy.
We're going to have to push a little bit
Just stay focused.
with Lawson. Lawson trying his luck on Piastri. Bottas has cleared Piastri for the lead. Verstappen's in the pits. That's an early stop. Is he a soft runner though? Yeah, so... Well, I'm assuming he was on softs. Right, Sainz in the pits now as well. When are we going with Danny Rick? Lap
Okay, understood.
19. Are we going to make that? Maybe not, but we'll see. Lap 21 with Lawson. I don't think we're going to make that either, but we'll see. So both Red Bulls have stopped. K-Mag's in the pits as well.
Bottas is in pit lane.
And Bottas does stop. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to overtake around here now, isn't it? In real F1. Happy, what's better, 24 or 23? 24 easily.
Copy.
Lawson then. On Piastri as Bottas pits, Charles Leclerc pits, Hamilton pits. Double stack from the Ferrari. Oh dear, Ferrari. Oh, hello. He's inside Charles. Lucky Hamilton. I think he lost a bit of time there.
Car behind. Russell.
Piastri back past Lawson, so these two still squabbling. Russell is right on them now as well. So Russell's pushing on his hard tyres finally. .5 will take that. So
Just
where's
keep an eye on
Ricciardo
your
going to
wheels.
filter out here? Looks like he's going to be behind Yuki Tsunoda. We should be ahead of Hulkenberg. Yeah. So has Yuki not stopped yet? No, neither RB have stopped yet. So they're going very long on those first mediums. So we should get past Yuki very quickly. Piastri does stay out. And so do we. So this is kind of probably frustrating Russell now. Stroll in a kick, yeah, he is.
Russell on DRS behind you.
Don't ask me how that happened. I think Lawrence is paying them off. Lawson round the outside then takes Piastri, reclaims the lead, but we are about to jump into the
Start to
pits.
use up the tyres.
Yeah, I'll try and work on another one. We'll run that for next season, which hopefully will be a championship season. There we go, Ricciardo. Superior grip now. Tsunoda is coming to the end of that tyre life. Yeah, it's down to 40%. Yeah, black and goldish. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, as I say, Monaco in season 1. We ran black and gold. It was okay, but I'm not too thrilled with it, so I'll work on a different design. Right, Lawson should be boxing this lap. Here we go then, and Piastri follows him in. So this is going to be about the pit crews, and we don't have the best of pit crews. So Oscar in. Nice stop from McLaren. No, they held us. Why were we held?
Why
Piastri
not?
jumps us in the pits. Right, Ricciardo. On to Lando Norris, who's yet to pit as well. He's on the hard tyres, but again, this should be easy work. Lawson is out in P4 then. Back behind the two Mercedes, but Russell yet to pit. Bottas has pulled 10 seconds with that undercut.
Gap 1 second.
And there we go, Ricciardo. Easy work on Norris.
1.7.
So everyone ahead of Ricciardo has now stopped, apart from Russell. So he is a net 9th place. And he's only 4 seconds off Hamilton and Sainz. I think we can get as high as... I don't know. Don't know where Ricciardo could end up. He's looking pretty good, though, to me. Right, so Bottas in the lead. Looking pretty good for the win, I'd say, Bottas at the moment. Unless his tyres fall off in this stint. Russell, I'm not sure of. He's gone so long. I don't know where he's going to come out here. What is the pit loss here? 21 seconds, so...
You are doing a good job, man.
He's going to come around... He's pitting now. He's going to come out around the Ferraris. Let's just have a look at Russell's box. And if you are jumping into the stream, like what you see, do smash a like. Really helps me out. Ooh, slow rear right. Slow stop for Russell. That could cost him. He might come out behind Hamilton here. We're on Carlos Sainz, so I think he's now on softs at the end of their life nearly. So yeah, Charles is past Russell. What about Hamilton?
Nice shot. Okay, currently P2. So
He's just split the Ferraris, but Hamilton might be onto him while Russell gets his tyres up to temp. And Lawson is past Piastri and all of that.
You're doing very well. If you are P8.
Right, let's try and break the DRS.
Hamilton.
Ricciardo past Sainz. Lovely work. So Daniel Ricciardo now P8.
Come on, mate.
Lawson P2. We're trying to break the DRS to Piastri. Ricciardo is right on Hamilton here. So this should be another move. Or the Honey Badger. Or P7 on Lewis. The Ferrari's just not got the pace at the moment. And Ricciardo on the outside will get the second DRS to help him make that move. So Norris has got a mechanical fault, having an awful race as Lando. His teammate P3, Norris, languaging down in P14, and that's a net P14, so he's really struggling down there. Ricciardo on the inside then of Charles. Charles fighting this one back well, though. Is this DRS going to be enough? Charles will have the inside here. Got to go around the outside, but Danny Rick taking no prisoners today. And he's up to P6. Piastri looks to the inside and finally makes the move back on Lawson, but we're not too bothered about that at the moment, as long as we can stay with him.
Keep trying. So
Just trying to close this gap to Bottas, really.
Gap behind. 9 seconds.
Ricciardo's now 2.4 off Max Verstappen. Yeah, of course, Honda coming to Aston Martin. Someone just crashed. Bottas! Bottas! See you never! Valtteri Bottas is out! I heard someone crash. It's the World Championship leader, Valtteri Bottas. Has he crashed with an Alpine? He's trying to lap an Alpine and he's clipped him into the wall. And Valtteri Bottas is out. Well.
Leclerc is boxing.
Charles Leclerc is boxing. What do we do here? Can we make these hards last? What is that? What's going on here? Oh, we've only got one set of hards, so we can't go hards. That's why it's doing that. That's going to be too much, I feel. Oh, it's tricky. I think Lawson can go on the hards, but Danny Rick, I think we're going to have to stay out. Because that's just going to be tough to get those mediums to last. He's going to be really struggling at the end there. Right, so I think we get Lawson in. I think we get Lawson in. We're going to have to keep Danny Rick out.
Box and pick confirm.
Norris's mechanical fault's getting worse. Right, Lawson's in. .6. Did Oscar stayed out? Where is George?
P2.
We want to stay ahead of George.
Piastri.
So Lawson stays ahead of Ricciardo.
Currently P2. Piastri
I would
ahead.
pit Ricciardo. Wow, that Alpine must be a tugboat. Terrible.
Gap at 2.8.
Right, so Piastri didn't stop, but literally everyone else did. So Piastri and Ricciardo in that top 10, the only ones not to stop. Though Sainz didn't actually, because he'd only just pit and Perez in, so that's a complete lie. But top 7 then, Piastri and Ricciardo did not stop. Right, here we go then. Piastri takes over from the safety car and he's gone. And we're back underway then. Lap 40 of 70. Valtteri Bottas, the World Championship leader, is out of the race. Lawson's P2. Is he going to make a move on Oscar? No, he doesn't.
So focus on just bringing your tyre temperatures back under control for the moment.
Got to get Lawson's tyres to the end, so we can't push these too hard. Piastri will probably push. No, Lawson takes the lead. Can we push out of the DRS? Let's push for a little while longer. Stroll, take Dragovic out, eliminate him, barrel him into turn 1. Josh Morris is not happy with the Bottas retirement. Right, Lawson can't quite break away.
On next car will be Piastri.
We need to be careful with this hard tyre.
That's okay.
Russell challenging Ricciardo.
Cool the tyres.
Russell forced out wide. That's good though. Ricciardo can frustrate Russell for a little while. Because Russell's going to struggle as well though. I think a few of these will struggle at the end.
DRS enabled.
Right, Piastri challenging.
And that's a purple lap.
Copy.
DRS enabled. George looking for the move on Ricciardo. Can't make it work though. Hamilton's got a fault developing. And Ricciardo, let's hope for a good stop here. We should come out on this gap where Zhou, that was the lapped cars that haven't reached, didn't reach the end of the pack. So we'll have a nice gap to come into. 2.4. Hernando, thanks for the follow. Much appreciated. Sign Bottas Season 1. Sign Bottas Day 1, I think, Josh. And here we go. Around that gap then ahead of Zhou. And that is Ricciardo now to the end. So he is 21 seconds off the lead. But tyre margin is very good, apart from on the hard runners. I think everyone else, he's going to be fine. And we see a replay of that Ricciardo Norris overtake. So yeah, I'm thinking barring Charles and Alonso and Tsunoda, everyone else is probably going to have to pit. Ricciardo could do without any safety cars here because it's going to open up for him. He's going to have few cars jumping into the pits. He's on to Perez here. K-Mag and Verstappen are going to have to pit pretty soon.
Keep the head down on the way to as best as we can, okay?
Russell challenging for the lead again. I'm not even too bothered about this now because I think Russell is definitely pitting. Norris's fault has got worse. He's retiring. So Fernando Norris, who's that? Lando Norris is going to have to retire. As we see there, Lando coming into the pits as Ricciardo is surely now going to make the move on Checo. Past Sergio Perez into P12. K-Mag in front, but K-Mag will probably stop next lap, I'd imagine. Verstappen pits.
That's okay.
So here we go, the first of the top 10 having to come into the pits now. Those tyres just not able to last. Sainz in as well for Red Bull. So Red Bull double stacking. Magnussen pits as well. Verstappen's in and out, so that's fine for Red Bull. But we want Ricciardo to, of course, be past Verstappen here. She should be pretty comfortably. Ricciardo P9, he's got Ocon and Soda ahead of him. Is he going to try and make a move here? He is. Lovely work again from Danny Rick. Estrella, thanks for the follow.
You're doing a good job.
And Ricciardo, this should be easy work as Hamilton pits and we're past Sonoda. So Ricciardo into P6 now. Russell is still out, but he's down to 34%. Piastri down to 30%.
Okay, good job.
So the only two I think could stay out is Charles and Alonso. But Russell, even if he pits, he's going to probably be able to get Ricciardo. But Ricciardo could be on for a podium now. Russell does pit, and he's out of the pits now. And Ricciardo is past him, but as I say, Russell is going to be super quick on those softs. And he's still got 18 laps to chase down Lawson. Second a lap, that could be doable on those softs. But it's not over. But could Ricciardo get a podium? He's about 7 seconds off a podium is Ricciardo. Piastri's out on 28% hard tyres.
Next car is Piastri.
Ricciardo needs to just try and frustrate George. I think that's going to be difficult to do.
We just have to get head on.
We need to try and deploy here and get into the DRS. Need to get into Piastri's DRS. Although Piastri is probably going to jump into the pits.
We focus on the cars ahead now.
Is Piastri jumping into the pits? No, he's not. Piastri's a madman. We're going to be past Piastri here. Piastri's down to 27%.
Okay.
He's going to close the door on George. No, he's not. So George is 18 seconds off the lead. Tyres down to 95%. Lawson's just managing his race now. The only challenge to Lawson, if he keeps it on the road, is going to be George Russell. And he's got a bit of traffic to get through here. Is he going to try and make the move on Danny Rick? No. Sabotaging a bit of Danny Rick's race here. Just to try and keep George Russell behind us. Again, I'm just trying to push up to these back markers so we get DRS. Got Zhou and Stroll. And we should get DRS again. And they've got to get out of the way, of course. But whether they do is another thing. And they do get out of the way, so we get DRS, which helps us again. Russell sets the fastest lap. Can we keep him behind? We do for now. And we get the DRS again because we had it on the back marker. You get 2 helpings, so we're frustrating George. Is he going to send it down the inside? It looks like he's trying it. Looks like he might have this because he's on the softs. He'll have a good grip, but no, Ricciardo battles well.
Okay, head down.
We are really frustrating George and trying to win the race for our teammate. And we're right on Fernando Alonso. We are actually battling, and this will be a place on the podium for Ricciardo, but he's not going to try. He's not going to manage keeping George behind him this whole race. We're trying to frustrate George for the benefit of Lawson, who's got a 16-second lead on Russell. Russell down to 88% on those softs. Russell's going to be flying once he gets past Ricciardo and gets clean air. And it might be there, but we force George out. Great work from Danny Rick.
Okay, head down.
Levasi, you would be a really good F1 commentator. Thanks, buddy. Much appreciated. McLaren messing up with pit strategy. Don't tell me this game isn't realistic. Here we go then. We get DRS again, this time on Fernando Alonso, and this is for an actual track position into P3. Is George going to follow us through? Can Fernando shut the door on him and further frustrate George? He does. So George now has to get past Fernando. Ricciardo's into P3. He's got 2.7 seconds to Charles Leclerc. Let's not forget, Danny Ric started 22nd from the pit lane and is currently P3. So however this ends up, it's going to be a mega drive from him. Russell's going to get past Alonso now, you'd imagine, although Alonso might have kept DRS on us. So if George doesn't clear Alonso, that's going to be real problems for us. But is Ricciardo going to make the move for P2 on Charles Leclerc? Yes, tight. But we're through. Alonso is fended off. George Russell. George is struggling now. George needs to make these moves quick.
Very good.
He's used 18% of that tyre life. And he's
15 seconds.
currently P5. 16 seconds off the lead. Looking very good for Lawson. Look at Lawson out here with a 14-second lead. And it was the right call to box him. Alright, going to be under threat now from George Russell. George down to 60, but Charles did have to pit as well. What a nightmare there. Alright, George is past Ricciardo, but we just want to try and hang with Ricciardo if we can, with Russell, sorry.
Don't worry.
But Lawson has maintained that gap to Russell. Ricciardo's tyres are just about going to last. So I think we absolutely nailed the strategy. When that safety car hit, we decided to put Lawson into the box, get those hard tyres on, and that has effectively won this race over George Russell. And Ricciardo, we opted to stay out, and that's going to gain him a podium. But here we go. Liam Lawson rounds the final corner, and he is going to claim his second win of the series, and he wins in Hungary. It's going to be George Russell who tried to hunt us down to finish P2. And what a mega drive from Danny Ric. Started in the pit lane, 22nd on the grid. And he comes back to third place to claim a podium, a double podium for Team Lotus. Big points as Valtteri Bottas, the champions leader, crashes out and claims no points. So that's first for Lawson, second for Russell, and third for Danny Ric. And if you haven't already, that certainly deserves a like on the stream to celebrate that double podium for Team Lotus. But Liam Lawson got out in the lead, and he just managed it well, didn't he, in the end? Lovely work from Liam Lawson. And there he is, George Russell, looking like a waxworks there in P2. Lawson wins it on the top step of the podium. And Danny Ric in P3, so a double podium, which we weren't expecting with Ricciardo starting 22nd. But what a result. And there we have it in all its glory. Liam Lawson up 2 to win the race. George Russell finishes second. Danny Ric up 19 places to finish third. Oscar Piastri fourth. Had a good chance to win, but again, didn't pit under that safety car. Max Verstappen fifth. Fernando, a good little race, up 7. Charles Leclerc 7th. Carlos Sainz 8th. Lewis Hamilton 9th. And Esteban Ocon claims another point for Williams. Drivers' Championship, so Bottas still leads the way, but no points after crashing out, but he's got a healthy margin still. Ricciardo stays second, 15 more points. George Russell does actually gain with that P2. Oscar Piastri down 1. Liam Lawson up 2, virtue of that win and 25 points. Max Verstappen, the reigning world champion, not looking good, although he gains 10 points on Valtteri Bottas. He's, 140 points off, 139 points off, so going to be a bit difficult for Max Verstappen to claim that title again. Charles Leclerc 7th, Lando Norris 8th, Lewis Hamilton 9th, Carlos Sainz 10th. The rest of the point scorers so far this series, Fernando Alonso 11th, Esteban Ocon, his second point of the season, K-Mag 13th, Perez 14th. The rest yet to score. Constructors, so Mercedes still lead the way, but we take a good heap of points there, don't we? Perhaps we can win the Constructors in 2025. We're aiming for 2026, but yeah, that is going well. I think if Bottas stayed in the race, the win would have been difficult, though, and they would have extended that. So we get a bit lucky, but yeah, looking good for us. So Mercedes lead, we're in P2, McLaren 3rd, Ferrari 4th, Red Bull 5th, Aston Martin 6th, cut adrift of these top 5, and then a big gap to Williams in 7th, and the rest of the teams yet to score. And that brings this one to a close, and we beat the mighty Mercedes. I think they should have really won this one, but Bottas crashed out, and we nailed the strategy, taking advantage of that safety car, and George Russell came undone, wasn't able to fight Lawson in the end, and Lawson claims his 2nd victory. But what a mega drive from Danny Rick, starting in the pit lane, 22nd to finish P3. So a brilliant drive from both our drivers. And actually, who knows what can happen in this championship now? We've not got too many races left. We haven't designed the car for about 7-8 races, and we're not going to, but we're hanging in there. So who knows what we can achieve in 2025. If you haven't already, please do like the video. A little measly target, but I'm at least trying to get 10 to 15 likes on this video. So if you can help me achieve that, I do really appreciate it. And we're going to be back very soon with the next episode in this Team Lotus F1 Manager series.